Peru's Congress is set to consider holding early elections today in the face of nationwide unrest.
The country was plunged into protest earlier this month after the president was impeached and arrested. Demonstrations broke out, some in support of him, while others called for a dissolution of Congress and new elections. Rail and air travel had been temporarily disrupted when protesters stormed airports and train stations.
Let's bring in freelance journalist Jacob Kessler, who's on the ground in Peru right now. Jacob, what can you tell us of what things look right now like in this intense unrest that we've been witnessing for days now?
Hi, Lilia and Aziza. First of all, thanks so much for having me. So for the past week, it's been a bit chaotic in the streets here in Lima. There's been protests from mostly Castillo's base, poor and indigenous Peruvians who are fed up. They're fed up from a government that hasn't served them. And, now they're taking their anger to the streets. In Lima, I've witnessed a lot of violent clashes between protesters and police. But that being said, in the south of Peru, where Castillo's base is more concentrated, the violence has been even worse. Until now, we've seen at least 20 protesters who have been killed and more than 500 injured.
And these protesters do not seem to want to stand down anytime soon. As you said, they're angry in the streets. Peruvian authorities have airlifted tourists stranded at Machu Picchu because of these protests. How successful has the authorities been at making sure people are safe in Peru right now?
Yeah, you're right. So earlier in the week, around thousands of foreign tourists were stranded in various parts of Peru, 500 alone in the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Machu Picchu. Yesterday, after weeks of being stranded there, some without, life-saving medication, were finally airlifted out due to the coordination of the Peruvian government as well as foreign embassies. But in terms of the effectiveness of the police in controlling the protesters, they've been somewhat effective until now. I mean, the Arequipa airport, the Cusco airport are now reopening. Tourists are being able to access roads that were previously blocked. But that being said, we're going to see a vote for new elections today. If that vote fails, some political analysts are worried that the violence in the street might increase.
And I'm just curious. I mean, I saw some signs there, one that said, justice for the dead. Can you talk to us just a little bit about what it is that the protesters are demanding or what it is that they are denouncing? And what signs are you seeing about the possibility of the unrest coming to an end?
So I've spoken to many protesters here on the streets in Lima, and I'm seeing mainly three demands. One is the resignation of Dina Boluarte, who was Castillo's vice president, who has since taken the helm of Peru. The second demand that I'm seeing a lot of is to advance elections. Congress is extremely unpopular. A recent poll indicating that only 20% of the entire Peruvian population approve of Congress. So people really want to see that Congress gone and new Congress elected. And the third demand, which is not as widespread as the other two, but I'm definitely seeing a lot of chance with regards to this demand, is the liberation of Pedro Castillo, who is currently undergoing 18 months of pretrial detention.
Well, Jacob, thank you so much for your report. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.